This live stream may self-destruct and at any moment because I'm sitting here on a public Wi-Fi. I'm using my backup phone and I'm waiting for a DoorDash order. So this could be a 5-minute live stream or it could be an hour live stream. It's pretty slow, so I could see it going for a little bit. But I want to talk about these scammers on the YouTube algorithm, Gangstalking Scammers, man. I've been talking about grifters, charlatans, things of that sort. Now, me personally, I'm not one of these people that makes a channel and I focus on one scammer or one grifter and I'm like so offended, like, oh my gosh, you're trying to rip people off. That shit doesn't really bother me. But when it comes to gang stalking, like, it does bother me because this is kind of like an unspoken thing of in the community is people scamming, people pretend to be targeted because they're fucking losers and like they trying to rip people off. They don't want to work. It's not like super common. We're gonna go over a couple people in the community. And the reason why I'm gonna kind of harp on this topic, I kind of expose these type of people. People like Subversive Awareness, Candy Grand Prix. They like lie to themselves where like I think Candy Grand Prix may be targeted. Like either way, she's targeted. Like it's either her fault. Like there's different types of targeting, guys. There's the real gang stalking that's done by the government, the military, the experimentation. You're followed around by government spooks, helicopters, citizens that are part of agencies, and you're harassed, and they do psychological, social experiment games on you. And the community gets involved, and it's like a weird fucking thing. Mandela effect, like, yeah, we know people are evil, but the way people are hypnotized to stalk and harass you consecutively for that sustained period of time, which looks like between 2 to 6 years. Like all of us are still being targeted. Don't get it wrong, but it's dying down, is what I'm saying. But the heavy gang stalking we were all complaining about, because it's just a resource dense thing. Like you just notice it's like, all right, this is not me being mentally ill. Like they are using a lot of resources. This is the government. This is like the CIA doing this shit. Like, why are they doing this? And they're like studying you and fucking seeing how you respond, and you can just feel the surveillance, and then it goes away. Where you get the lightweight, like hit or miss kind of gang stalking, where it's like it's still always going on in the background. It's just not bothering you as much. You're either desensitized or they're not going as hard. Okay. So that's what I mean by that. So if you're there's these people that come up, well, mine's always fucking hot and heavy. Where's your proof? You know what I'm saying? They just leave comments. They don't even have videos. They don't come on. They don't show their face. They don't even talk, make a video. But they're always coming. Oh yeah, mine's always, and they're always mentally ill. Like I'm sorry, I'm not this person that think TIs are all mentally ill. I think most TIs aren't perfect. Okay, this is my profile of a TI, like a real TI. It's like you're a little bit above average intelligence. You're like kind of on the break of being smart. Okay. You're not economically doing too well, but you should be. And like when it comes to dating and shit, like you're being held back. Like you're in a situation where you're not dating the way because you're being hated on, you're being slandered, you're being fucking controlled by fucking some type of surveillance entity. It could be the government, it could be a cult, could be a breakaway military contractor or some shit. Like who the fuck knows, right? But I'm gonna go over my gang stalking, what I notice, and that type of stuff. But we're gonna be talking about scammers, okay? So there's a difference between a gang stalking scammer and a perp, because I hate how the community just calls everyone perps, everyone gang stalkers. But you need to start labeling people, or not even labeling, categorizing, okay? Categorizing people correctly. You can't just be like, it's a big program, everyone's in on it. I'm the only TI. And they brainwash you. It's these fucking idiots like Targeted Tony, and I give Absent Minded Abe a lot of grief, but he's, besides him being a disinfo intelligence shill, he wasn't really that bad of an influence for a little bit there. But yeah, these people that try to brainwash you, and I'm not saying my version is correct. You might be a TI. If you are a TI that's going through some crazy fucking just outer worldly gang stalking and it's really happening, you may exist. I'm just saying you're not common. When people come in and say, "Well, it's so common to have heavier gang stalking than you," I don't know if you guys like that impression. It's like the fucking white little chucklehead. Nothing wrong with being white. I'm just saying, like that white, arrogant asshole that just like narcissistic, American, Western civilization fucking prick. Like pretty much the nigger of the white race. That's who I make fun of. Like I'm gonna tell you about my fucking workplace mobbing. How many times have I told you about stuff where my paycheck, just like King Mansa, is stopped? Like, I think if King Mantle was real, he was real during this period because this was happening to me 2, 3 years ago. It's like no matter what job you work and how many times you quit and find a new job, your paycheck is always like held in review or your money's held in review. So I'm supposed to get paid on a pay card for this job I'm doing. Like they're forcing you to get paid on a pay card and then the pay card won't activate. So like I haven't been getting paid and they're trying to fix it, but this has happened at another job 3 years ago, a different company, and it's like, hmm, you know, it's like you're trying to fucking harass me again. And then there's been times when my paycheck like was stopped. Like they were like, "Oh, we switched payrolls." 2 weeks later, "Oh, we switched to another payroll company. Oh, sorry." And everyone that got direct deposit got their direct deposit, but everyone who was on check, which I was supposed to be on direct deposit, their checks got held up, and I was the only one. So it's like this thing where it's a single me out to get like free labor out of me to make me either quit. And like, how many times has it after? So it's years later, and it's still happening. It's like whatever, man. And the money, I need the money. And dude, I had my tax return. I had a $1,600 tax return that was originally supposed to be 3,000 because they didn't give me the stimulus. This was from like 20. I filed it late, so they cut it in half, and then the half that I was supposed to get got stolen out the mail. Miraculously. So I had to wait an extra 3 months to get my fucking money. And it's like, dude, how many fucking times? I can tell you maybe in 5 years, 20 stories of this shit. And it's like this government operation shit, dude. It's not just some low level stuff. Like, but I'm not trying to say my gang stalking's, oh, it's always every time I have money coming in, it stops. I'm not lying. I'm just saying it's really that. But there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about because these people gain satisfaction. Okay. When you're really being targeted, they gain satisfaction off of your uh hearing their like they want to hear it, they want the feedback. And just imagine this is bullying. That's all it is. It's group secret bullying is what gang stalking is. By fucking powerful entities that have surveillance technology. Anyone that doesn't fucking say that and they come on, they tell story after story and they don't show any fucking proof, but they never even at that, they just like never admit who's doing it. They're like, "Oh yeah, the Shriners helped me out," like shit like that. Like, "Oh, the Freemasons aren't bad," and it's multiple people that say shit like that. Like, dog, they're perps. Those are perps. Anyone that this is what I will say. This is how you know to find a perp. That's defending the program in some chat because they're a part of it. They don't like you. Their team is the program. The team is gang stalkers. So they'll always like let back. Like, let's say I was meeting with the TI and like, yeah, we need to beat up some gang. Like, if we can find real gang stalkers and they admit to us they're gang stalkers, we need to beat them up. And I'm not encouraging violence. I'm just saying hypothetically. No, 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 don't beat them up. Why? Why would we do that? No. And they're all like adamant. Like, that's how you know they're part of something, man. So and they're like, oh no, the Freemasons, they're the good guys. We don't want anyone to get hurt as TIs because you just end up going to jail. And from my research, you're 100% wrong. If you're a TI listening and you go hurt somebody, you're not hitting a gang stalker. So maybe somebody that was under mind control influence to do some weird shit, or maybe you're under mind control to think they're gang stalkers. The most likely scenario, you're under mind control to think they're gang stalker to go to jail over them, basically. and they may have done one little weird thing in front of you that like it's a complicated thing. But either way, from all the people I've done in the past, like you're not getting gang stalked. Like Stephen Marlowe did not kill 4 gang stalkers. Okay. He may think he did, but no. Sorry, like they didn't fit the profile. A fucking white mom, MILF with a teenage daughter. Like they're not gang stalking you. Come on, man. Now some junkie, like some fucking desperate junkie that like lives off housing in the suburbs, fucking smokes crack in her basement, but lives like a high-end lifestyle, never works. Gets, those type of people that have their lives set and they're like fucking Eastern stars and shit. Still don't, but yeah, that's more likely. But some fucking random MILF and shit, like, come the fuck on. Some old couple, 70-year-old couple. I was gang stalked by my brother. See, this, I know you're joking. John's brother. I forget your first name. Um, but I don't like this. And I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying people think like slander and social networks and people doing bad shit to each other is gang stalking. No, that's just regular human behavior. There's areas where people are just bad people. Like I grew up in one of those areas. People are just fucking bull, and it's usually the East Coast or somewhere up north. Okay, certain parts of California and things like that, but mostly if you're from the North or the East Coast or like parts of the Midwest, like Chicago, like thug areas, urban areas. People are just they don't hold the door open. They don't say please and thank you. If you say please and thank you, they look at you fucking crazy. Anytime when a white person acts like a tough person instead of like living in the suburbs, like I fucking hate that area. Fuck, I got a DoorDash. So I gotta end this shit pretty soon. Maybe I'll come back on later for part two. I'll name it like part two. But I don't like that crap, man, because it takes away from the real gang stalking. Like, yeah, okay, let's say there's some hidden camera, weird stuff going on in a little town or something. That could be separate from gang stalking. So could people talking shit and fucking hating on you and shit like that. Gang stalking isn't just the community turning against you. It's literally like you're being let known that you're under surveillance. That's the main protocol. That's why they had that drone on me. Like, dude, I see the stars that are fake. They're not following me. They're not harassing me like they were. I still see them. I can barely see them. Like you can barely like I have to twist my head around. I have to like drive away from trees. Dude, they were putting a drone on me overtly, like to fucking make me talk about a drone and seem crazy. And they were whatever. They're investing that many resources. Imagine putting a drone, hooking it up to someone, fucking hiring the pilots for 3-4 years just so you can have a guy sound crazy and maybe get locked up, and it didn't even work. So it's like, all right, it's not about me saying crazy shit. It's like, no, gang stalking it's borderline like alien behavior. It's CIA, NSA, overt fucking gangster military contract. What the fuck? Someone tried a pair with my phone called Sticks. Someone tried to do a Bluetooth pair. They always do it on this phone. This is a backup phone. Sticks, STYX. Every time I'm nailing gang stalking, like I'm actually calling out the intelligence agencies, articulating myself well, there's always some weird shit that happens. It's government spooks. 5 people just left. Went from 8 people in the chat to 3 people. And if you're in here, you see, oh, just 5 people left after that Bluetooth of Sticks, which is like a lake in hell. Okay. So there's so many elements to gang stalking. You cannot confuse it with, oh, just some people were talking shit, at my job for a couple years, because you might be an unlikable person. Like there's things about me that are unlikable. Like I used to be, I wouldn't say bullied, But yeah, I used to be picked on a little bit when I was young because I did some behaviors that were fucking unlikable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes society, like there'll be a nerd that's acting weird, and the group, without even thinking, it's like a animal instinct to fucking like treat that guy like shit. They don't deserve to be bullied, absolutely. But sometimes there's nerds that are being weird in dynamics, and it's like, dude, stop. And you like fucking humiliate them to teach them a lesson, because it's not because they're themselves, it's because they're being awkward, they're being overtly awkward, and it's ruining the dynamic once they conform to the dynamic. And it's something, it's like an unspoken thing. It's like a social contract type of thing. Okay. So not nothing against you, but I see that shit a lot, and it's like someone that was brutally beat up by a gang, okay? Some guy gets brutally beat up by a gang. He's like, "No, dude, I got jumped by 100 people. They had bats, knives, chains. They were pointing guns at me. They beat me up for hours. I was in the hospital for 6 months." And then you're talking about you fought like a girl or something, and you try to make it seem like it's the same. "Oh yeah, I fought some fucking woman, dude. She scratched me a little bit." It's like, nah, dude, I got beat up by like niggas that was 300 pounds, UFC fighters, like wrestlers, and they were just like fucking torturing me for 20 minutes. Like, it's traumatic. Like, dude, I, you know, he's like, "Oh yeah, but I, you know, I got in a little scrap with an old lady." And it's like, that's what people do. And then they downplay. That's why people get offended. And it's not because you're mentally ill. They downplay, you know what I'm saying? They don't mean to do it, but that's what we get as TIs. It's like, yeah, we get things wrong. There's TIs that blow things out of proportion. I've done it a couple times, and they're kind of dishonest, and they don't care about the actual truth. But it's like, nah, dude, we're not confusing little workplace scuffles that I've seen other people get into, the worse than me, that happen to everybody in social dynamics, because we're awkward people. Oh fuck. I gotta end the live stream. I'm gonna do a part two. I'm driving off. Sorry.